Get your hands off my son! I roared, vaulting over the ranch fence like I was back in basic training. One of the so-called HOA officers had my boy's arm in a vice grip, dragging him toward a black SUV idling at the edge of our property. My pulse thundered. My vision narrowed. Instincts honed in combat took over. The man didn't see me coming. I hit him like a freight train, both of us crashing into the dirt, dust exploding around us. My knee pinned his spine as I ripped the fake badge from his belt. His partner, a stocky guy in shades with no real uniform, froze, hand fumbling under his shirt. I was quicker. My sidearm was out, steady. Move and you'll regret stepping on my land, I growled. My son, Ethan, 8 years old, stood a few feet away, his blue jacket streaked with dust, eyes wide with terror. Sirens wailed in the distance. This wasn't a prank. Someone sent these men for my child, but they didn't know who they were up against. I'm Mike Carter, a single dad, ex-Marine, and rancher in northern Texas. I raise cattle, train dogs, and teach Ethan to ride, mend fences, and honor the land. Family is everything. You'd think leaving the service for a quiet life would bring peace, but peace is rare when your land is coveted. Danger doesn't always wear a uniform. It comes with a clipboard, a smile, and calls itself an HOA. They picked the wrong ranch. It started on a calm Tuesday. I was repairing a water pump near the west pasture when a sleek white SUV rolled up to the gate. 2 women in crisp polos, HA, stitched on their chests, stepped out. They claimed it stood for Harmony Association. Routine community compliance check, one said, voice syrupy. We need access. I frowned. This ranch has been Carter land since 1880. No HOA here. They gave tight smiles, said they'd send a letter, and left. I brushed it off. Land scouts and nosy developers are common out here. But then the letters came. At first, they were petty. Landscape violations, unauthorized structures. I owned 70 acres, free and clear of any subdivision. I tossed the letters in a drawer. Then a yellow sticker appeared on my barn. Final violation notice. I burned it in a bucket. Ethan asked, Dad, are we in trouble? I ruffled his hair. No, buddy. They are. Ethan's a gentle soul, the kind of kid who saves turtles from the road. He loves his pony, Sugar, and our Saturday pancake battles, maple versus strawberry syrup. He lost his mom at 4. I lost my wife. This ranch is our sanctuary. So when strangers claim authority over it, it's personal. The second encounter came during Ethan's riding lesson. 3 vehicles pulled up, for men spilling out, no greetings, just cameras snapping my barn. Get off my land! I barked. One flashed a flimsy badge, muttering about livestock sanitation and child endangerment. Child endangerment? I stepped in front of the barn. Who's saying this? They handed me a cease and desist letter for parenting. I crumpled it and threw it at them. 5 seconds to leave. They smirked, promising law enforcement support. It was a bluff. Real cops don't wear mismatched polos. Ethan grew quiet, asking if they'd take him away. I swore no one would while I was alive. I reported it to Sheriff Daniels, showed him the fake papers and my security footage, but with no real names, it was a dead end. So I prepared. I reinforced fences, added cameras, trained my dogs to signal intrusions, and taught Ethan emergency codes and hiding spots. For a while, it was calm, until that day. It was 4:30 p.m. Ethan was feeding the chickens. I was fixing the water heater when the dogs barked, 3 short, 1 long, breach east side. I sprinted out barefoot. A fake HOA thug had Ethan, dragging him toward an SUV, engine running, back door open. I charged, tackling the man to the ground, gun drawn. Ethan sobbed. The second thug reached under his shirt. Sirens closed in, but were they real? The man's hand froze, then opened, empty. Sheriff Daniels' cruisers screeched in, lights flashing. My dogs stayed on guard. Mike, you okay? Daniels called. They tried to take Ethan, I shouted. Deputy Harris cuffed the second guy, who dropped a taser. Trying to snatch a kid? Daniels muttered. That's low. The men were from a shell group, Land Sync Alliance, with no legal standing. They targeted rural properties, using fake fines and custody threats to force sales. Daniels shook his head. Mafia tactics. That night, I found a letter at my gate. Sell or lose everything. With a map circling my land in red. This wasn't about an HOA, it was a land grab. Ethan was shaken, brushing Sugar's mane, asking why they wanted our ranch. Because it's ours, I said. I set traps, trip alarms, flares, motion sensors, and trained my dogs on the intruder's scents. Days passed quietly until Daniels returned. Someone filed a petition claiming Ethan's in danger, saying you're unstable. Fake photos, bruises on a kid who isn't Ethan. My jaw clenched. You know that's garbage. He nodded. It's about court stalling you while they circle. Then drones buzzed overhead, circling the house. I jammed their signals, crashing one. That night, a red laser dot danced across Ethan's window. I hit the floor, yelling, Ethan, move! He crawled to the safe zone. Outside, a sniper watched from the tree line. I radioed Daniels. Armed surveillance. Shots may be fired. I grabbed my tranquilizer rifle, moved low, and darted at the sniper. He collapsed, carrying a fake ID, a burner phone, and a floor plan of my house with "Target" scrawled over Ethan's room. Daniels took him, but the ID was a dead man's. This is a hit team, he said. I called my old Marine buddy, Tom Reed, now a tactical gear dealer. He handed me a satchel. Hit back, Mike. I activated my old unit, 5 brothers in arms. We met at the ranch, faces hard, ready to defend. That night my dog growled. We found a buried listening device. I crushed it, staring into its lens. You think I'm scared? I held a press conference, showing the fake badges, drone wreckage, and floor plan. They tried to take my son, I declared. The sheriff and mayor backed me, launching an investigation. That night my power died. The generator was smashed, a barbed wire noose on the barn with a note. You were warned, I snapped. No more reacting. It was time to trap them. With my team, we faked weakness, no patrols, no cameras, for 3 days. We rigged the ranch with hidden triggers, decoy sensors, and silent recon cameras. At midnight they came, 6 men, 2 SUVs, bolt cutters, and tasers. They tripped a latch, floodlights blazed, sirens screamed, and dogs charged. One fled, hitting a tripwire. We zip-tied 4 in minutes. A laser dot from my sniper, Jake, froze their leader. Surrender! I boomed. They dropped. Daniels arrived, stunned. 1 captive spilled. They were hired by Peak Pulse Security, a front for Horizon Land Corp., a billion-dollar developer. Their goal? Force ranchers out. The feds were called. But 3 days later, a van scoped out Ethan's school. That night Ethan whispered, "Will it stop?" I gripped his hand. "We're standing up." A text came. "Leave, sell, or bury your son." I went offensive. Tom connected me with Sarah Klein, an ex-CIA tech analyst. In her hidden Houston office, she traced Horizon to CEO Victor Grayson, a tycoon tied to land scandals. Emails showed Grayson ordering, "Make Carter hurt." Satellite scans revealed Horizon used military tech to map my ranch. I copied the evidence. Returning home, I found the gate open. My man Luke staggered out, bleeding. "They took Ethan. 2 vans 20 minutes ago." My world collapsed. "They want me to chase," I said coldly. I signaled my team with an air horn. War. Sarah's satellite pinpointed a Horizon drop site 15 miles out. We hit it silently, 3 trucks, EMP jammers, stun rounds. I saw Ethan, tied in a container. I choked out a guard, cut Ethan free. Dad, he gasped. They said I'd go away unless you sold. I handed him a walkie. Plan C. He hit as two armed men entered. A flash grenade from Jake blinded them. We took them down. An SUV roared in, Grayson himself. My EMP killed it. I faced him. You threatened my son. He sneered. I have senators. I held up the flash drive. I have you. Daniels and FBI agents cuffed Grayson. That night, Ethan and I sipped cocoa under the stars. I wasn't scared, he said. I smiled. You were brave, like your mom. 2 months later, Grayson faced trial, conspiracy, kidnapping, illegal surveillance. He got no bail. Horizon collapsed. We won millions. The ranch was untouchable. The Carter Defense Act was passed, shielding rural families. Others shared their stories, Horizon's victims for years. Ethan stood taller, fear gone. We rebuilt the barn, painting a sign. Carter Ranch, guarded by family. A cryptic note arrived. Keep protecting. We're watching. I burned it. Peace returned, but I stayed sharp. If trouble comes, I'm ready. Viewers, what would you do if a fake HOA targeted your family? Comment on where you're watching from. And tell me, can a prank in a relationship, like a fake threat, ever go too far? Share your thoughts below. Let's keep this story trending.